everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, your semi-regular source of news that jumps at every opportunity to talk about Gragas. Personal update. Yes, I am still a father, but I'll stop talking about this because people will get scared once I forget to mention it. This week, Riot revealed a lot of new info on all of their projects. Well, besides Project L and F. So as always, let's start with what is new in League. On live servers, the astronaut skins were released, which means that after our eternal slumber, Bard got a really good skin, with some bonus chroma versions on top of it. Besides this, Volibear is now also playable, and if you already own him, or if you decide to buy the champion during patch 10.11, you will also get the 1000 pierced bear skin. Besides this, Earth is still active alongside the Pulsefire event. Speaking of which, on Universe, the Pulsefire lore is still being unveiled. In total, the story is supposed to have 5 parts, and we are currently sitting on number 4. But since I am already behind, and I still need to cover the big Noxian story and the updates for Trundle and Tryndamere, I am not sure if I'll be able to cover the Pulsefire lore when it's all out. Anyway, back to the news. On PvE, Riot is testing a bunch of new stuff themed after High Noon. We are getting 2 new skins. High Noon Irelia, who is themed after Native Americans, which is an interesting twist on the High Noon theme. Of course, Native Americans fit into the Western cowboy world, but I really like how they took the winged eagle theme with all the feathers, and they still combined it with the Demon Hunter assets. I especially love the blades shaped like sword guns. It gives a whole new meaning to throwing your gun at the enemy once you run out of bullets. The second High Noon skin we've got is a legendary skin for Senna. Here, I have to say, I know she's supposed to have a big gun, but this is almost comical. The reason why it looks hilarious is because she's holding a gun that is supposed to be tiny. That's what we're used to. So once you scale it up to fit the size of her relic cannon, it suddenly looks odd. Although, when she's moving, the gun suddenly looks amazing. I have no idea what kind of black magic this is. Nevertheless, just like High Noon Lucian, whom you can actually see in her splash art, High Noon Senna looks amazing. The spell effects are through the roof, the theme fits her really well, and she's on a horse. The only thing I could nitpick here is that even though it's a legendary skin, you can't really tell if she has any new animations when she's moving or attacking, which is something legendary skins are supposed to have. But either way, still, it is really cool and it has a lot of fire all around. The third new skin that was revealed on PvE is Hextech Nocturne, which is a skin nobody expected. The story behind this skin is that someone wanted to see what would happen if you fuse Hextech with a demon, which is not the brightest idea if you ask me. Unfortunately, because Nocturne's model is so old, the skin doesn't look as good as it could. I like the energized floating blades, and I like the new Hextech cloak, but that doesn't take away from the fact that his shadowy tail still looks abysmal. Overall, I don't mind this skin, but I'm more excited to see what this skin will look like once Nocturne gets a rework. Besides these skins, since Riot is planning a smaller event for High Noon, Surrender at 20 also found some loot assets, chroma skins for both Irelia and Senna, but we will also get chromas for the older High Noon skins, including some for Lucian as well. Here I like the fact that Riot is pushing the color pink wherever they can. Jhin got 2 pink chromas in fact. Besides this, of course, we got some High Noon icons and emotes, which include some ranked Galaxy emotes too. And that brings us to TFT. TFT is currently preparing for its first ever mid-set expansion. In the past, they also released updates to keep the game fresh. For example, they added Lunars and Soulbounds into the last set to keep it fresh. But this time, they called this update an expansion, because they are offering a lot more. You could almost call it a set remake. First of all, when it comes to gameplay, they are adding in 3 new origins, with the total of 13 new units. This of course means that they will also be taking some units out. And so, say goodbye to all the Void units, Valkyrs, and Sona, Kassadin and Lux. And instead, welcome in the Battlecast units, which depending on whether they are below or above 50% health, they deal damage or heal themselves, every 10 times they have dealt or taken damage. Among these to note are Victor, who is currently quite overtuned, and he can wipe entire teams with his laser even without items, and Urgot, who instantly kills units with his ultimate. I'm not sure if this is a bug or if it is intended, but he straight up removes them even if they have GA. Next up we have Astro units, which reduce their own mana cost. And here we can find Bard, who deals little to no damage, and he is quite worthless on the battlefield. But every time he fills his mana, he spawns a meep, which you can sell for extra XP. And lastly, there is Legendary Janna, who turns all of your damage into magic damage. This unit would have been useful during the Vanguard Poppy meta, not when you also give us tons of new magic resistance. Now, although that is it when it comes to gameplay, the new rewards are also really awesome this time. First, let's have a look at the new pass. I have to say, Riot is killing it when it comes to the free TFT rewards. In the last pass, everyone got the Crash sideboard for free, which is still one of my favorites. And so you can imagine how excited I was when I saw that in the second pass, we are getting a Dreadnought version of that board for free, with the other free map being a piece of the Odyssey ship. But then, when it comes to the paid rewards included in the pass, Surrender at 20 already found almost everything. First of all, the new pass includes new booms, which are the damage effects. Here we got some Star Guardian beams, a Celestial Arrow, Jinx's Super Mega Death Rocket, and some Void Spikes. You know, in the same patch where Void units are being removed. But then, in the paid pass, we are also getting Star Guardian Silverwing. And just for buying the pass, similar to the UFO sprite, here we are getting the Star Guardian sprite. But that's not all. For those of you who got gold in the previous sets, there is also Victorious Silverwing for set 1 and Victorious Furyhorn for set 2. But that's still not it. On top of all of these rewards, we also got 3 new little legends. And these are going to make a bang because all of them are great. I could be nitpicking, but I'll get to this later. The first one is obviously the one I'll be aiming for, because here we are getting Bard as a deer. It's called Bellswear, but what's awesome about this guy is that his description mentions that he is from the Argent Mountains, which is a real place on Runeterra. So there is the chance that this guy could be canon. Anyway, all of his chromas are amazing. We got the one with Blood Moon meeps, then there is the Volibear version with Freljord meeps, but most importantly, there is the Mordekaiser version, which looks glorious. The second little legend we are getting is the Light Charger, whose description mentions that he can be seen soaring across Targon skies. So again, this guy could be canon too. And here, carrying over the Hecarim versions, we have the Black Mist chroma, the Arcade chroma, but there is also this awesome High Noon version. And lastly, and in my opinion the weakest one of these, but you know, still good, we have Nixie, a prankster from the Spirit Realm. Again, as I said, even this one is good, but it's just not my cup of tea. I understand that a lot of you will like the baby Nico, and even I have to agree that the Vampire chroma is pretty awesome. But at the same time, we are talking about the annoying devil called Nico. And oh my god, this one looks like a creature from the Trolls horror movie. The last thing we could mention here is that all 3 of these little legends will have their own icons too. Now, although that is everything that will be heading to the main League of Legends client, Riot already started sharing new things for all the other projects too. Starting with Legends of Runeterra. Riot posted a video where they shared what's coming next. Right now, we should be looking forward to 3 new things arriving this summer. First of all, there are gauntlets, which is a new competitive way to play Legends of Runeterra. Similar to brawls in Hearthstone, gauntlets will give us special rules, around which we have to build our decks. What is interesting here is that we will be able to earn special rewards unique to gauntlets. Next we are getting labs, which is a game mode similar to gauntlets, except these will not be balanced. They will be ridiculously overtuned and they will be full of extreme changes. So as you can guess, this mode will be focused on casual fun. But lastly, later in July, Riot will test their first event. Now during events, we will be able to earn exclusive cosmetics, we will have special quests to complete, and apparently, there is also the possibility that we might be able to unlock some older cosmetics for free. And on top of that, to give us even more stuff, Riot is also planning to give us a leveling event pass, similar to what we can find in TFT or Valorant. Besides this roadmap, Riot also confirmed that they are planning to release roughly 2 new regions every year, with a bunch of new cards being released every 2 months. Now moving along to other projects, we also got some news about Wild Rift, the mobile version of League. When it comes to gameplay, we learned some new interesting things. Riot is still trying to keep the game similar to normal League, and they will even give us a familiar rune system. But there will be some small changes to the game, such as evolving buffs, Misfortune's Q being a skill shot, or the fact that here, Shyvana has a new passive that gives her extra bonuses depending on what dragon she killed. On top of that, we learned that Wild Rift's gameplay will be a bit faster than League, and Wild Rift will have a smaller map. So at least now we know that the mobile game will be a lot shorter, which is good. Now in the background I will play a video showcasing all the champions that will be in Wild Rift at launch. And as you look at them, feel free to cry over the fact that these look absolutely incredible. And everyone would want them in normal League too. Unfortunately, even though some of these champions got really cool redesigns, I don't think this means that League is also getting new reworks. Even though that Malphite looks sick. Anyway, when it comes to shopping, Riot kept everything almost the same. Although here, we will get a quick shop pop-up window, so we can quickly get back to lane. Then, when Riot talked about skins, they mentioned that they know how customer-unfriendly mobile games are. But even though Wild Rift is a mobile game, they will keep the monetization the same as normal League. So you can still unlock all champions for free, and the only thing you will need to pay for are the optional skins. Speaking of which, in Wild Rift, all skins also have their own unique victory animations, which really bring the value of the skins through the roof. Although this could mean that releasing new skins will take slightly longer than what we are used to, because they also need to make these new unique animations for every skin. The last new thing we learned is that, for those of you who invested quite a bit of time and money into League, when you get into Wild Rift, you will get a present that will give you a bit of a head start to get into the game. So although Wild Rift and League will have separate unlocks, you will get at least something to transfer over. We don't know what we will get specifically, but I'm guessing we will get some free RP. And now for the final piece of news, we need to mention Valorant. 2 days ago, after a short break, Valorant launched globally. And I have to say, the jump in polish from the beta version to the launch version is insane. The game looks and feels amazing. But great polish is not the only thing we got with the launch. We got a new map, which isn't actually that important, because to most players all maps will be new. We got a new agent, which again, to most players all agents will be new. There are a bunch of new weapon skins that look amazing, especially the trusty X. But something we have not seen in the beta is the event pass. Again, similar to what we got in TFT or games like Fortnite, Valorant has a pass that gives you free rewards just for playing, and some extra rewards if you decide to pay for it. Honestly, the price isn't too bad, and the rewards are really good. If you ask me, it is totally worth the cat pendant. But besides this, the other amazing thing that blew me away is the new game mode. During beta, all you could play was the normal mode. The issue with that is that the normal mode takes about 40 minutes to finish, so it was equivalent to queuing into League. You knew you were there for about 30 minutes at least, but who knows how long it will really take. Well, Riot realized that Valorant isn't really friendly towards people who want to quickly hop in and hop out. So, Riot gave us a new game mode called Spike Rush. In this game mode, all attackers have a spike on them, so everyone can plant the bomb. And in every round, you can't buy anything, but every player gets the same randomized weapon loadout. So for example, one round everyone has a shotgun, and the next round everyone has a sniper rifle. Sprinkle in some power-ups which you can pick up around the maps, and suddenly every round takes about 2 minutes. Combine that with the fact that whoever gets to 4 points wins, and suddenly you have a game mode that takes only about 10 minutes to finish. This game mode feels like a really cool twist on the gun game mode from Counter-Strike, and I love it. If you don't have the time to jump into a 40-minute game, this is definitely a fun way to spend your time. Now, the very last thing I could mention in this video is the Valorant Launch cinematic. Now, I'm not sure how much real lore is here, besides the fact that whatever was in that package probably made Venice float, and people now think that it is all Jet's fault, even though apparently it is not. Either way, since this is titled Episode 1, there might be some continued story in all of this. But to be honest, don't expect too much lore here. Valorant has its lore really well hidden, and Riot only gives us subtle explanations as to what is even happening here, which is something Riot will probably continue doing. To explain why I'm even mumbling about this, that means that there is no point in me doing a video on this cinematic. I am curious, why is Phoenix and Jet fighting each other? But besides that, I wouldn't have much to talk about here, which is good, because I was really close to becoming a reaction channel.
Now the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's like a visceral reaction of discontent coming from this area. This area is not good either. I hate this, but I'm mainly worried about this.